Hi, everyone. So in this video, I want to be able to help you create high resolution images for your research and for your research work as well, especially if you don't have Illustrator or if you like working in PowerPoint, or if you just want to be able to know some of the other alternatives and tools that you can use for creating figures for a project or a paper, a presentation, a poster, you name it. How do you have those high quality images get generated? And sometimes if you try, saving it as a PDF, it may not be as helpful. You may not get the results that you're looking for. So I'm going to show you an example of how we can get these high quality images directly from PowerPoint in and of itself. So we can just look here and see this here. So these are some of the results for a paper, for instance, and you can see that I can do some of the editing directly in PowerPoint. I can edit some things as needed. I can also, like, let's say I want to get rid of this category altogether. I can just, crop it out. I can use this technique as needed to, crop out, edit as needed, and my figures using PowerPoint. So let's just pretend that I want to save this. Then let me see what would happen if I just save this as a PDF. I could go to File, Save As, and then I can just go and save it as a PowerPoint project, figures as a PDF here. And let's see, because sometimes, PDFs can have higher quality overall than a JPEG or anything like that. So let's just see, how does the quality come out? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the sample images folder that I created, and we can just see how did it come out. So when we try the PDF approach, you can see, okay, we have this. We can sort of see that it's not really that good. It's kind of grainy. If you zoom in, you can see all the little greens here. It's not the greatest at all. You can zoom in here, but it's sort of grainy. It's not the greatest. So the alternative is that you don't want to just output it this way. You want to begin and output it instead as a .tif format. So there are some steps to take to ensure that when you export your PowerPoint images, they will be high quality. But I just sort of want to show you the pipeline and the process. So you can save as, and then instead of anything as a PDF, which we saw was very low, bad quality, we can just have it as a TIFF tag image file format, a .tiff. So we can save it, and we can just save all slides. So each slide will be an image. So it's creating a folder already within, it's creating this folder here. Okay. So now if we go to the sample images folder, it's just created this project figures. And we can see all of our images are now these slides. So I can open up this one, for instance, and I can open it with Paint. And when I open it, I'm going to see, wow, if we zoom in, it actually looks pretty good quality. These no longer look grainy. This actually looks pretty good. This no longer looks grainy like how it was looking in this example. If we zoomed in, we could see that this was pretty poor. What we observed is some graininess here. And if we look at it here, we no longer observe that. They look pretty high quality. And in fact, we can actually just also edit using, you know, Paint directly. I can just edit this part out as needed. So I can just like edit it over. I can drag things over too if I need to. I can just drag it over. Bam, I'm done. You know, for instance, that's an example. And I can just save it. I can, I should also make sure that I adjust it in Paint just the way I like it. If I need to move anything up or down, I can definitely do that this way as needed. I can, you know, have updates to the name. Oh, this is tan. Okay, I can just instead delete this if I needed to and rewrite it like ME and use maybe a smaller font with Arial. Maybe I'll use like 8. So I can keep on adjusting it as needed and seeing that it looks as good as I want it to look. Right now, for instance, so it looks higher quality. I can save it here. And then when I'm done, I can just close this. I can go and edit any of the other files as I need to. Then we're going to notice that the properties of this file are that it's a .tiff. So if you want to, you can directly upload, incorporate a TIFF file directly. Or if you want to stitch it up as a PDF as well, you are more than welcome to do that. So there's this site that I use that is called tifftopdf. So you can combine your TIFF files. So let's just see if I upload my TIFF files here. Let's just go here to the sample images. And I can just like, you know, just drag anyone. Let's say I just want to do these 3 or so for now. I didn't slide 5, but what I can do is I can just quickly go back and go edit slide 5. Open with Paint. I want to get rid of the white space, otherwise it'll get included in the PDF. So I just want to go back in and just get rid of the white space and make any adjustments as needed here, and then save it. So that when I go here, you know, you see that slide 5 is updated. Like, let's just say I want to use these for now. I can open them and I have TIFF to PDF here, and I can download them directly. I can download this too as a high quality PDF document, even better quality than before. You guys can really notice the contrast between this and what I was having before, which was this versus this, and this is even more zoomed in, so it's way better. So you can, and then what you can also do is you can just combine it and download them all together in one stitched up PDF. So if you need to just have a folder of your all of the stuff that you've done, you can see that it comes out, the clarity comes out way better here. Because what I noticed is that even if I had made some networks using PowerPoint, which is what I had done here, I had made some networks using PowerPoint, arrows and text and all of that. So you would think that when you like when you would export it, you'd think that in PowerPoint, it would come out well. That's what you would typically expect. But they do, this part does come out well, which is great, but other things just don't come out as well. There's just so much graininess that would appear. It's not so rich in the styles. You can see there's so much graininess before, but now if I look at what we have now, it's way better. It looks way, way better, way high quality. The images are higher quality. They really pop out. And that's because we had them as a TIFF file. So I can totally work with this PDF of my images. And I can edit them as needed. And that's sort of an advantage of doing that and exporting them as high quality. But one of the things that I had to do to be able to get this was to firstly set my PowerPoint quality to be a lot higher. So I watched this really helpful video here that talks about how you can get publication quality figures in PowerPoint. It was a very good tutorial. So we can just like kind of go through that video together, and I can sort of show you as well. But it involves using the registry editor and looking where your PowerPoint is under, your computer, your software. You keep scrolling down to Microsoft because PowerPoint is through Microsoft, and looking in your options, and then you will have to create this export bitmap resolution here. You'll have to create it. You'll have to create a new. So we'll just watch this video, and then you also see that is firstly what you need, so that in PowerPoint, whenever you export your image as a TIFF, it will automatically be high quality. And by default, to get this, you would need to export it as a TIFF file. So we can just see it. And it's really nice. It's using Mozart's theme song in the back. So they're showing it's not really so great. They show like the TIFF, from before, how it looks. Before you do this, what they're showing you, it's not going to be good quality. So you'll need to see that before it's pretty low quality. It's not the greatest. So what you have to do is you have to see the properties of this. And the properties are that it's 96 dpi, which is not very high quality. You need it to be like 300. So what you're going to do to get it to be 300 is you're going to need to go to this thing called registry editor. So you need to type in registry editor, which is what this app is called, registry editor. And then they're sort of showing you how they are going through, and they're going down and going to Office, trying to find where it is exactly, looking for your PowerPoint there. And then in your PowerPoint, you click Options. So that's what's really important. So you click, so again here, so for me, I went in my registry editor, went to Microsoft, then I went to Office under it. So firstly, I came here, computer, H key, current user, software, Microsoft, Office as a subfolder. Then under Office, PowerPoint. And then under PowerPoint, you will want to look for options. And then, so I already have this, but they're going to show you how you can get this, because you may not have export bitmap resolution. So when you export PowerPoint files, what will it be by default when you export it as a TIFF file, TIF? So that's what you have to see. So here under options, you do new, and under new, you click DWORD 32-bit value. Because like what you'll see here is whenever I registered this export bitmap resolution, it's reg DWORD. So this is the exact tutorial that helped me out. So you have this, and then what you call it is export bitmap resolution. It sounds very epic when you're playing this music and you're doing this and you're figuring out how to get this to work. So you export bitmap resolution. That's what you name it as. You have to be very specific with the naming. And then you're going to modify it. And then under the modify it, you have to put 300 here. And then click OK. And then you'll be all set. So you'll be like me, you're going to have this here, and 1 second. So you're going to be just like me. You're going to have this 300 be right here where you can see this. There's this 300 right here under export bitmap resolution under options. So now you're going to be all set. So by default, my TIFF images are high quality. So unless you do that, you'll land up with poor quality 96 DPI, you know, when you're exporting it as a TIFF file. So it's important to have this set up like what I have so that when I export it as a TIFF file, it's high quality. So you have this protein image that's being inserted. And you can see that's good quality, right? And then you can see now what will happen once you have this edit done. So that's how you can set up an image to be whatever width and height that you need in PowerPoint. And now if you look at the after, you can export all slides, which is everything in the pack, or you can just like export the current slide, which will just give you that. So now you can see that the properties is that it has, the details is that it now is 300 DPI by 300 DPI here. So from before versus after, and you can notice the difference in the image, which is great. And that's the superior result that you want. So what we can also see is for these images under the properties, we can also observe the details is that it has 300 DPI and 300 DPI because I set up the PowerPoint to export high quality automatically. So that typically is my pipeline. I can work in PowerPoint as well. I can take the images and then edit them as needed in PowerPoint, export them to Paint where I can do some other quality control for other image adjustments, and then have that tifftopdf file. If I need to, I can directly just do tiff to PDF. So I can go on that site that I use, tiff to PDF, which is a free converter as well. And you can upload your files and you can convert them tiff to PNG. Any of these you can do tiff to JPEG, whatever you are needing it, it'll be a high quality image. So again, this difference is way better. It's way better here. It's way better than what it was before. If you would just use what, if we just do PowerPoint PDF, then what you would have gotten here, this is very, very low quality for this region of the brain. You can see how grainy it is. This is what it looks like. Or if you do my method here that I've shown you, you'll get really high quality images. So it's a difference between it's a difference between this result and this result, guys. So you can directly see the comparison between the graininess and the clear. So it makes a huge world of a difference. So I really hope that this will help you guys. So this is something I had to learn along the way when I was trying to create these high quality images for my research. And I just wanted to share these tips and tricks with you guys and the videos and resources that I also encountered. So hopefully you guys can make these images, even if you don't have Illustrator, even if you're just using PowerPoint, or even if you just want to have a new suite of knowledge of how you can accomplish this. So my name is Sanya Kuller. So I really hope that this helped you guys out. And please let me know if you have any questions at all.